another episode of Shapes and Forms. I am joined today by usual co-host Sredni Vashtar. And Treyman will be joining us a little bit later in the evening. Before I get in here, let me just make sure... Yeah, it keeps resetting the sprint button, and I don't know why. That's so weird. But as long as I remember to fix it, we're fine. I don't know, Sredni, who do you think I should play as? That's the Huntress. Alright. How are you? That's good. Yeah, I was gonna say, we got like an important thing to discuss. So how did you feel about Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, the latest record from noted Delaware rapper Logic? Or is he from Maryland? I don't remember, actually. You're hearing some white noise. That is probably my air conditioner. Is it, like, really, really bad? Because if it is, I can turn my air conditioner off. But, as long as I'm still audible, and Sredni's still audible, and to a lesser extent the game is still audible, I'm willing to put up with it. There is a guest. Can you not hear Sredni? I can hear you. Yeah, you are apparently not coming through for some reason. That's very curious. Oh, there's no desktop audio at all. Okay, hold on. I believe I know what causes this. I think this will fix it. Let me see here. Or not. What about speakers? I think you're coming through now. Yeah, because I see you on the what's it. You might be a little bit too loud, actually. Let me turn down very slightly. Okay. Does he sound...
Alright.
Do they sound okay, like, in comparison to me? Actually, let's hum at the same time. That's going to be a great, great bit for the VOD.
But yeah, as I just said a moment ago, and so everyone can hear me, let's talk about that god-awful Logic album.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about...
Let's do a deep dive on Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Yeah, let's talk about the creeping realization of our own mortality.
Hello.
That is, like, intimately connected to forcing oneself to endure such things.
Well, wait, Murr's going to set the record straight before we start talking about Logic. So, what is the record that needs to be corrected? God damn it.
What did you say, Mur? I did not.
Jason Blossom is not the Gargoyle King.
God damn.
So what is he then?
Oh, hi Trey.
Hello.
God fucking damn it. Hi, Trey. Oh no.
It was his mother, Penelope Blossom. Jason Blossom is dead. This is like super spoilers for something. I don't know what. But yeah, before we get too off topic, we really do need to talk about the fucking Logic album because...
Yeah, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. God. Oh my lord.
Oh gosh.
Trey, did you listen to any of it?
I spared myself being embarrassed.
Okay, we will describe it to you secondhand, and you can engage with it that way.
Okay, so
frankly, you made a wise decision.
So, I'm going to go...
What, Sredni?
Hmm?
You cut off. Did he vanish?
I think so.
Goodness, we're just having all kinds of audio issues today.
Oh,
One
boy.
second. He's still in the call.
Okay, as is mandatory, my Discord connection flaked out.
Oh, okay.
You know, as it's wont to do.
It happens.
But I was going to say, I am going to go track for track
Yes, please do.
my feelings.
I believe I've heard the Eminem collab, but not much beyond.
Homicide is like
Okay.
by far the best song on the album, which is really saying something.
Yes.
Faint praise.
It is, yes.
Hello, bird,
It deserves
and
to be
Lexi and
damned
Section.
the faintest of praise.
So yeah, you can like feel free to take us on this journey, because I've only
Okay,
listened to it
taking-
the one time, and I pretty much never plan to again. So
Okay. So the title track opens the album. Let's see. That's probably actually the second best thing on the album, and has some pretty solid production. Lots of nice keyboard tones and so forth. And, you know, in theory, if you were dealing with a better lyricist, the idea of using social media as a form of emotional self-harm is not a terrible premise for beginning a song about, you know, anxiety as an artist.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then, but this being Logic, it becomes very preachy and thin-skinned, yet also smug
You see,
at the same time.
like to my
Very
recollection, the gist of the song is phones bad. Like it doesn't really go much deeper than that. But I would argue that that song is merely mediocre.
Is what?
Is merely mediocre.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's, you know, it starts off on a potentially interesting foot, but it's like, it doesn't go anywhere, and its tone is like,
And just
then
just to remind everybody, this is one of the better songs on the album.
yes, and then it's followed by Homicide, which is better than that, which is also, like, the production isn't quite as good, but the, Eminem basically blows Logic out of the water, which is funny because
Eminem's
Logic is...
Eminem actually has one of the better verses of it's Marone. Hello. How did you find this stream? But yeah,
Who?
somebody I know from another Discord server and also the Hip Hop Head subreddit. So at least one
Oh my
person
goodness.
here will have a vague idea of what we're talking about as we
Okay, so
talk about the
Yeah.
Logic album.
So the thing about Homicide that's so embarrassing for Logic is the fact is that
Oh yeah.
he's, you know, like, he's showing off these, you know, sort of like flow pyrotechnics, you know, going just all out with it. Yet he's saying nothing of substance, and Eminem manages to say very little of any substance, but manages to,
Talk
without
about that
even,
Discord.
you know, doing half as many, you know, technically berserk things, manages to make him look so lame.
I would actually argue it's one of the better Eminem verses in like the past couple years, which is not saying a lot, but it's better than Logic's thing, where he kind of just sounds like he's, you know, that thing where you you take your finger, you just rub it up and down on your lips and make like a sound. It's basically just that.
It's just him trying to brag. He's using a lot of technical flash to talk about himself having technical flash, yet in the most
It's
empty way possible.
like a bad imitation of a Tech 9 song.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. Except that he sounds more like he's trying to simultaneously bite Kendrick Lamar and, like, at least 4 different people at once. Like, got, like...
We're not at that part yet, Marone. Dark Ridge is also from the hip-hop subreddit.
Okay, so then we get to Wannabe, which is one of the worst things on the album. It makes my skin crawl, but it's only a minute long.
That's the one that's just... Is that the one that's just, like, him doing the Drake part from Sicko Mode, or is that the other one?
No, that's Out of Sight. That's
okay.
Later. So there's Clickbait, which I actually don't remember a whole lot about.
I think that's the one with I'd suck a dick just to prove I'm not homophobic in it.
Okay, yeah, that. Okay.
Which is...
I remember the lyrics being
really
like,
allegedly. Allegedly.
Well, it was either that... No, I thought that was on Pardon My Ego, which is
it?
later.
Allegedly the, that particular line is, like, something that, Charlemagne the God, who was a radio host, said at one point, and I don't know. It's just a lot.
Yeah,
not in a fun way.
Okay, Mama/Show Love is dreadful, mainly for just being obscenely preachy and smug again.
Yeah.
And even like the beat change up and the both beats in question being solid does nothing to save it, and if anything exacerbates the issue of being god awful. Out of Sight is just Drake's bit from Sicko Mode.
It's just Drake's bit from Sicko Mode.
Over a pretty complex beat, which, is one... And funnily enough, him just ripping off Sicko Mode is one of the more tolerable...
One of the more tolerable songs on the album, which is genuinely just very depressing. I have to be honest, I'm finding it hard to do, like, a song-by-song thing, just because a lot of the music blends together, other than, like, the horrible standout moments, such as I'd suck a dick to prove I'm not homophobic, and...
The lyrics are probably the most
the worst thing by far on the album. There's the bit on the song with G-Eazy where he randomly just uses Michael Jackson's ad-lib twice.
Oh yeah, we're getting to that. Pardon My Ego, which is just it just is about as insufferable as you would think it would be, and also the fact that he brags about, making massive amounts of money off of a,
song about suicide prevention, which is just kind of tacky.
Also, it's even worse because, if I'm not mistaken, there's the whole Kanye line might be... Was that in that song?
That's somewhere on the album where he's like, I wish I was mentally ill, like...
Yeah, and also the bit about Kid Cudi.
About, like, Kid Cudi and Kanye West. It's just...
It's obscenely tasteless.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing is more like... If you're gonna do something like that, to then brag about making a bunch of money off of it is just gross.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Like, before I listened to that album, I never thought that Logic might be a bad person.
Yeah, it's like...
But now I kind of do.
But it's also, like, it's a weird thing about it is, like, if... As like, this one reviewer pointed out, was like, if, even if this is, something like that is meant to be satirical and it's meant to, he's essentially playing an almost a villainous role here.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I just, like...
Thing, he's not doing it well.
I just, like, straight up don't believe that.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm saying...
I understand what you mean.
Is that even if it's true, he doesn't... And if I'm gonna give the benefit of a doubt, sure, it's possible. It's like, practically evil cackling. But, like, and so much of the album is so incredibly douchey that it's but it's just not done well.
Yeah, like, it's
played a little too straight and a little too desperate and pathetic.
I heard Supermarket was even worse and how predatory it was. That might be true. I refuse to subject myself to Supermarket, because, like...
I might subject myself to it.
You can do that if you want to, but you actually are, like, into rock music, and that's, like, Logic's quote-unquote rock album.
Yeah, but at the same time, that there's a certain kind of, self-involved rapper that almost as a type that, thinks, oh, I'm gonna do a rap album. No, I'm gonna do a rock album, and it never turns out well.
Like, the difference between that, though, and something like, say, Rebirth by Lil Wayne, is that, like, I at least get the impression that Lil Wayne was just kind of fucking around.
Well, that's true. But
whereas Logic seems to genuinely think that he's, like...
Well, I was also thinking, sort of... But then again, this has its own set of excuses as, a speeding bullet to heaven.
Yeah.
And it's just, like... But at the same time, with Kid Cudi, you can understand, this guy is not doing all right. Like... It gets, like, what...
Okay.
Yeah, it's like... And it's like... As I said, like, was, and it continues through Commando and Icy, particularly, which come right up here.
Icy has maybe the worst hook of any song I've ever heard on a major label.
Yes, holy fuck.
It is so bad! I don't...
Commando has, like, pleasant enough production. G-Eazy is so inoffensive that he could just...
G-Eazy's there.
He's phoning it. Somehow he manages it to still, like, phone it in. And he's G-Eazy, so his existence is phoning it in. It is like hip-hop itself is phoning it in with G-Eazy's existence.
It is air that is filled by sounds.
Exactly.
G-Eazy is the white Big Sean. That's a very good comparison, actually. I've somehow never thought of that before, but you're right.
I don't know. Like,
although I don't think G-Eazy is anything that's quite as funny as Ass, which is maybe
I'm saying,
the best bad song ever made.
Yeah, like, Big Sean at least demonstrates a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Even if it's a really corny one. And G-Eazy's just air.
Yeah.
He's air. Icy Gucci Mane just destroys Logic completely.
If it was just like a song with Gucci Mane by himself, it would actually be pretty good. Like, maybe I shouldn't even go that far, but it would certainly be a lot better than...
It'd be fine.
Whatever the hell is happening on the actual version.
Jesus fucking Christ! No,
we can't. None of us can do that. Our voices can't go that high.
Me mimicking that actually sounded better than it sounds on that fucking album.
Yeah. No, Trey, I think it's fine to like G-Eazy. Like, I don't really care for most of his music, but he's like, decent production choices and stuff.
So my thing is that, like, a lot of the songs that I like by him are either supplemented by additional artists or are other artists' songs that he...
Yeah, that's fair. He actually, like a year or two ago, he had a really good verse on a Raekwon song, of all possible things.
Huh.
But that was...
But No Limit by G wouldn't work without Cardi, and then A$AP Rock. Well, then he did the verses on Dylan Francis Say Less, which is actually a pretty solid song overall. But it's a party song. It's not like doing anything out of out of his wheelhouse with that. So, you know.
He is from
like
the Bay
songs,
Area,
though,
and I feel like that just kind of inherently grants you a certain amount of ability to do party music.
Okay. We have to get back to our...
Yeah, we really
do. This musical equivalent of Overcooked.
I'm glad some of the HHH people are here, because otherwise this would be like easily the most impenetrable first half hour our show has ever had. And we've talked about Burzum on this program before.
Okay, shit. So, Still Ballin'.
Which one is that?
What on this program before?
Burzum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like a good year or two ago, yeah, but we have.
Explaining Burzum while we were doing GeoGuessr.
Yes.
That was a thing. Still Ballin' is the one with Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa phoning it.
I completely forgot that song was even there. I forgot.
Very forgettable.
Which one was YBN Corday on?
Mama.
Okay. I normally like that guy, but I did not enjoy his verse on that song.
Him.
He sounds a lot like Logic on that song.
Yeah.
He's blending into his surroundings like a chameleon.
Sorry. Yeah. What did you say?
I said he was blending into his surroundings like a chameleon.
Yeah, but I was also going to say maybe that was the one section where the lyrics weren't as terrible. But yeah, then after that there's Cocaine, which, like, it seems like he's trying to make a point with that song, but it just doesn't... It just...
Yeah.
And again, it's like, oh, actually the production here is decent, but, like, God...
Well, you know,
so fucking
if you want to hang out, you gotta take her out. Cocaine.
That is infinitely better song.
Don't lie.
Cocaine.
Yes.
Yeah, like, oh my god. And then there's the possibly worst song on the album that isn't Wannabe. Wannabe barely even counts. Is Limitless, which is the most boring shit.
Which one is Limitless? I'm realizing how few of these songs made much of an impression on me before.
It's the one with the really mushy trap beat, and it just goes on for 4 goddamn minutes.
Yeah, that's another thing with Logic's music, seemingly, is that a lot of his songs are just very long for no real reason.
Yeah, and it's like he makes it feel like 8 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes going on 40.
Yes. And then there's Keanu Reeves, which is bad, but isn't, like, as bad.
Is it the one with the fucking scarecrow joke in it?
I didn't even notice that in between the,
It stood out to me because I was like, I feel like I've heard this lyric somewhere before. And it turned out I had. There's a part on one of the songs where he goes, I've got a scarecrow flow, I'm outstanding in my field. Which is already, like, not exactly an amazing lyric, but whatever.
I mean, it's at least kind of funny.
Yeah. It turns out the place I had heard it before was literally a joke book.
Oh, of course.
I used to own... My grandmother got it for me for some reason. It's called, like, the Big Book of Goofs, Gaffs, and something. I don't remember. Had a yellow cover. It was an actual, like, honest-to-God joke book.
I understand.
And one of the jokes from it was, why did the Scarecrow get a promotion? Because he was outstanding in his field. And it's just that. It's just that.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We should also bring up the fact that there's multiple places on the album where he talks about Fortnite.
Yeah, and also, like, the whole, just endless, weird, like, really sketchy shit about women.
Yeah, Logic broke up with his wife, like, last year, I think. And I feel like it informs a lot about.
It's like, yeah, I remember when I told you that, that like all those constant references to, like it's like he's going, oh, hey guys, look at how much sex I'm totally having right now.
Which is
Totally
hilarious
getting
because
laid.
Logic is like the least sexy it's possible for a human to be without actually being unattractive. Like if you don't, if you don't know Trey, you look fine. Come on. Like if you don't know what Logic looks like, go Google a picture of him and imagine this dorky man bragging about having sex, and that's like a solid half of the album.
Yes, like just with him, particularly photos of him just with the most ridiculous facial expressions.
He's always got this like big grin, like somebody just told him to say cheese. It's
yeah,
which is not a problem in of itself. Some people are happy a lot, and that's fine. But it's an interesting thing to couple with look at how often I fuck.
Admittedly, with some of his older stuff, I found that like degree of cognitive dissonance between his like lyrics and everything and the actual content of like his identity in the real world. I found that sort of like fascinating, but as time has gone on, the initial like novelty of it has kind of off.
Yeah.
It's still very cool that he can freestyle while doing a Rubik's Cube, though. That's
it's impressive. It's definitely a skill.
A skill.
It is a skill.
It is a skill. I'm
not gonna take that away from him.
It's one of those things, like, the album feels like what would happen if you gave one of those, like, YouTube core rappers a, like, major label budget for an album.
YouTube core?
People like NF and Token and Mercules, and I don't even know how, like, widely known any of these people are outside of that circle, but...
I recognize NF, and I know.
By the way, I learned yesterday that NF's real name is Nathan Fauerstein, which... there's just something really strange about that last name to my ears. Fauerstein.
It's very Germanic.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, don't be afraid to be different. Oh my.
Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be different.
That line. Okay.
He says it like
that one is actually.
He says it.
Actually, I think arguably has the best beat on the album.
Possibly, but instead of rapping for much of it, he just says, "Don't be afraid to be different."
And he's chanting something extremely
It's like
trite.
It's almost like performance art at some point. Like it's fucking hilarious, but I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, although I mean, guess Will Smith seems at least aware of how
Will Smith completely washes Logic, which is fucking just
insane.
Funny as hell.
And it's and he's like, and it's like he's like not even. It's almost like he's like not even he's not even trying, and he still manages to through basically charisma and not taking himself seriously, whereas Logic very desperately seems to be.
Yeah.
Like the thing about Logic is even when he's being ha ha joking, he's clearly taking himself very, very seriously.
You know what it actually kind of reminds me of? And this is a wild comparison, so stay with me here. Also, I died.
Yes. I will go with you on this journey.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, God.
Yes, actually.
Shake It Off and songs like that.
Yes, I totally understand this.
Also, Trey, man, do you want to get in the game?
Yes.
Awesome. I will turn on.
It's been running in the background while I joined.
Sorry.
Then we come to Bobby, which also has interesting production, but it also has the only part of me that's biracial is my dick bit.
It sure is a lyric, and he sure does say it a lot of times. Like, I am not of mixed heritage, so I'm not qualified to, like, talk about that in any meaningful sense. But I do know a bad lyric when I hear one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, I don't understand what that even means.
You know, sometimes...
Like, all I can think of is, like, is there something that you're really not telling us?
Like, I know what he means. I do know what he means.
What does he even mean?
I don't want to know.
It just makes me picture, like he's got Vitiglio down there.
No!
Which I don't want to think about, but that's what it makes me think of.
It's like a piebald horse.
You see, now I'm glad I didn't listen to it because I didn't have to be subjected to that. But we're talking about it, which arguably might make it worse.
Like a colorful model.
I think that might be
Oh no.
I think that might be a Key and Peele reference. Maybe? It's not a well-employed one, if so.
It really isn't, because Key and Peele are actually, like, cogent and amusing.
Literally entered to question mark. Hi, Heinz, we're talking about the new Logic album.
And
just... Oh, I'm struggling. This is bad.
Bad music.
It's a fucking terrible lyric. It's just so terrible.
The wild thing about the album is that it's so bad that it's funny. Which,
yes,
like, I guess is better than just being boring. But it's... I still just don't understand how it got released. Like, somebody told me...
Yeah.
I was talking about it on Reddit a couple days ago, and somebody told me that apparently he has a contract where, like, the label can't... Like, he has 100% creative control, like, the label can't tell him to not do anything. Which is, like, the only way I can envision something like this being put out on fucking Def Jam.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh yeah, and the last song is Lost in Translation, which is just merely boring.
Yeah, and it ends with, like,
the outro.
A really long Japanese voicemail, which, if you translate it, is basically Logic telling you to fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah, him bitching at his hater. Through some Japanese woman reading this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? You're not being cheeky, you're being... It's the Shake It Off thing.
Yeah!
Well, that would be Taylor Swift during the Reputation era.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, are we, like, out of that now? Because I heard that her new song is, like, just, like, a pop song with no particular references to her,
And it's cloyingly terrible.
I see.
Yeah, I've heard that, too.
I have not heard it.
It's like shoving sugar into your mouth.
It's weird to me that Taylor Swift has ears. What does that mean? Also, I think all the HHH people left, but oh well.
Alas.
I forgot that Discord, like, shows when you're streaming. So I did have this brief moment of confusion, like, wait a minute, I didn't tell them where I was streaming. How did they know? But, yeah, you know.
Actually, I might have to check out whoever was sampled on Bobby, because Like, apparently, it's a sample of a Sister Nancy song. She was, her name is actually Offlin Russell.
The reggae artist?
Yeah, dancehall artist.
Yeah, that tracks. In fact, I think that might be the same sample that Kanye used at one point on Life of Pablo.
Huh.
That
makes sense.
She has a really well-known song called Bam Bam, I think. That's been sampled many times. It's kind of like a standard break.
Oh, and apparently, Don't Be Afraid to Be Different is a flip of something by Technotronic, who I am vaguely familiar with.
Goodness. I hope Six got paid a lot for his production on the album. I hope somebody made it out of that okay.
Yeah. I mean...
So, Murr is continuing to talk about Taylor Swift and Pat, which makes me wonder, since he brought up Look What You Made Me Do, isn't that the one where she was accused for the first time of ripping off Beyonce?
Maybe. I know there was it
certainly would not be the last.
She gave fucking Right Said Fred a co-writing credit because the drum line was very similar to the one from I'm Too Sexy.
Oh, what you made me do. Look what you made
Such an obnoxious song.
Yeah, it's almost... That one's all...
Look What You Made Me Do might be, my least favorite pop song ever.
Let me think. I think there are ones that I hate a lot more than that one.
Also, fun fact about Look What You Made Me Do is that at one point R.A. the Rugged Man released a freestyle over it. For reasons. Because that's just how he is.
Okay, I think... Wait a second. Is that who I think it is?
He was the other white shock rapper who was kind of popular in the 90s, and he was the one that didn't blow up. He had a song with Biggie, many, many years ago.
Wait a second. Yeah,
many moons ago.
Yeah.
And people who are, very into... quote, real hip-hop, unquote, like him because he raps very quickly. And still says the F-slur sometimes. Which is how you know that someone is, quote, real, unquote.
Oh, Lord.
No, it's not, but that's what they think.
Oh, gosh.
I need to listen to the Injury Reserve album that came out today and, remind myself that good music exists.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. I can't remember what it was like. I was actually able to sort of cleanse my mind of Logic fairly.
We doing this?
Yeah, let's go.
We doing this?
Yeah. The funniest thing about the Logic album is that I'm not sure I'm going to remember it particularly well in 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's awful, but it's not memorable.
Other than the really bad lyrics.
Yeah, because it's Six's production is largely just tasteful enough that it, it kind of at worst it's
I feel
fine.
He'd be a great
passable.
Producer to work with Lupe Fiasco or somebody who likes that kind of production.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I also listened to Lupe Fiasco's album Drogas Waves a couple weeks ago, and that album is very good. It has a weird mutated phone on the cover. I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. Or maybe it's supposed to be a manacle? I've never thought about that before. Anyway. So yeah, that was maybe the most silly first half hour we've ever had on the show. How are you guys doing otherwise?
Well, we did also once, spend an entire 2 hours talking about the Warrior Cats franchise.
Yeah, but nobody was here for that episode.
Oh, God.
Oh no. That's like the only thing I've ever been involved in on this show where I'm like, that was an injustice. More people should have been here for that.
Yes, that was a fucking
The
injustice.
VOD is still out there. The episode is called Warriors, if you want to go watch it.
Yeah, y'all need to watch that. It was an A+ fucking episode.
It's probably the best episode of Shapes and Forms.
Yeah, it's...
I might be dying here.
Oh, man. So, like, what else do I even have to think about? Like, I don't know.
Also, I'm super dead.
Oh no.
Let's try that again.
I don't know.
Shout out to 7-Eleven for allowing me to eat for $3 a day for the past couple days.
Millie and June and I walked all the way to Center City from Roxborough yesterday.
That's far. I don't even live in
Yeah.
Philly, and I know that's far.
Yeah, it was a long way. If I'd worn more comfortable shoes, then I would probably be fine, but I didn't. So yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of move.
How did you get all the way over?
Over... what? Sorry, I spaced out for a second.
What the heck? There are... It spawned you on the completely other side.
Yeah, we are very far from each other. I've never had that happen before. You're way up there.
Oh boy.
Well, we can, like, clear out
I don't like...
Do you want me to come over to you?
We're good.
Alright.
Okay, I'm...
What, Sredni?
Yeah! Hello. I took a leap of faith, and now
Hello, Trey. Sredni, are you still there? Sredni?
Yes.
Hi.
I'm trying to calculate how, so I'm going to
Okay.
get directions from my house to Washington Square.
You know what would be funny sometime is if instead of playing GeoGuessr, we just, like, walked places on Google Maps. It might be the most boring stream imaginable.
Okay, let's see, how many...
what would you classify that as on Twitch?
Art.
Okay, so that was,
Art.
so we walked about 10 miles.
That's a lot, Sredni.
Yeah,
Sizable.
yeah.
I would enjoy that, not gonna lie. Well, maybe we'll do that tomorrow if I can't get anybody else on board for my Magic Planet Live show.
I mean, I would be game for that.
We will discuss it in the stream server.
Yeah, I mentioned why I wasn't going to be tomorrow YouTube, but for the audience, I will not be here tomorrow because I'm going to a music festival here in Rock.
A shindig.
There is electronic music downtown. I am going to enjoy it.
Who are you
That
seeing?
sounds like a plan.
Let's see. The headliner, I believe, is for Friday night, and then Saturday night has a guy named Griffin, who I'm not terribly familiar with, but I'm going to fan who are a house duo that I really enjoy.
Who did you say the Friday night headliner was?
RL Grind.
Ah. I am...
He is a DJ.
I know the name. I don't think I know the music, though.
Dubstep.
Gotcha.
Rap. Yeah. Well,
It's-
electronic trap. Isn't it interesting that there are two completely
Different
forms
genres
of
called trap. Yeah.
music?
Yeah,
That's
it is
a
funny
thing.
for a while that like trap rave stuff temporarily completely eclipsed like trap rap.
I
but
still
then-
like some of that stuff. I missed Tonight. I wish they would make
But-
another album.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's weird how like that's
Hudson Mohawk
actually
solo stuff is pretty good.
But I'm just saying it's kind of funny how that's totally reversed as a trend in the last.
Yeah, well, trap,
like 5 years.
The hip hop genre, trap was like a
Yeah.
older thing, and I think that was kind of inevitable.
I know,
but
but I'm saying that for a while there, it was like there were a lot of people who I noticed who were like outright really pissed off at like trap rave being the only thing that people seem to associate with the term. And
heck, I mean, I made a trap rave song once. I don't think anybody remembers it, but I did.
So electronic trap actually, as the years went on, became melodic trap, which also goes by the name future. It is
future-based,
yeah. It's kind of like what the lighter, sort of peakier cousin to melodic trap music type stuff from the early era of like hip hop and electronic together. So like
that sounds interesting.
It has hip hop influenced like percussion and such, but lots of electronic melody.
It's also, if
Trey,
I'm not mistaken, influenced. I mean,
recommend
like the
me
name
some albums from that genre.
Yeah, as the name indicates, it also has like connections to UK bass, which is a lot of fun.
Some of my favorite artists in the scene take a lot of influence from Wonky or Purple.
Oh, I remember that stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh, I haven't thought about that.
It's still a thing.
About a million years. That was one of the ones that had like a really big Wikipedia edit war on the page for it.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Illogical stuff heavily inspired by Wonky?
Hey, have I ever told the story of how I got into a fight with Igloo Ghost on the Odd Future Talk forums when he was like 11?
I know, you told me at the time.
I wonder if he ever thinks about that. I hope so.
Yeah, but you were saying it's kind of funny. It's like he was literally 11 at the time.
And I didn't know, so I thought I was like arguing with somebody my age, and it was like literally a child.
Yeah. Yeah, jeez.
I also got into a Twitter fight with Subtract once.
I actually half remember that.
Yeah, I was talking about how his album sucked, and he, like, fucking, I guess, had a tweet deck of his name up, and was like, well, then fucking unfollow me then. And then he blocked me. It was really weird. And I haven't listened to any of his music since, and I'm pretty sure his career is not exactly going anywhere fast, so...
Oof.
Fuck that guy. Wildfire's still an alright song, though.
I have nostalgia for his first album because it was one of the electronic albums that my sister really enjoys, my older sister.
Yeah, I liked his first record, too.
Yeah, we bonded over that for sure. So
yeah, it was either
I haven't listened to any of his other stuff with any lasting. So
it was either the second or third album that came out that I didn't like, which led to our exchange of words on social media.
Oh man. Actually, the few times I've talked with like,
I'm trying to think of other. I made a really stupid joke at Aesop Rock once, and he responded with like "ugh" or something.
With what?
With like "ugh" or something. I don't even remember what the joke was, which is terrible. But, and at one point I tipped off Fly Anakin that somebody was like trying to sell bootlegs of his music. And I think that's the sum of interactions I've had with musicians on Twitter.
For a long time there, what is it called? My pinned tweet on Twitter is me talking about, like, just jokingly soliciting people to make me a, you know,
robot time.
version of
There you go.
a MIDI version of Seeming Feral, so I can have my own personal battle theme music. And for a long time, the first and only like on that was from Alex Reed from Seeming. And that made me so fucking happy.
Shit. I got the Will-O-Wisp. Oh wait, did it not drop? Hey. It dropped two different things. I don't know what that is. But I guess that's for you, Trey. Usually it drops...
the duration of that battle.
What?
I did not have any items for the duration of that battle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would have let you have both if I had known that.
Don't worry, you're good.
Although I only have 3 myself. Whoa.
I have a beetle guard.
You have a buddy.
He's a
shit.
A friend.
He kind of looks like a dog from Half-Life.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sredni, are you seeing our new pal?
Your bouncy pal?
Yeah.
With the leg arms?
I fucking love this thing. Does anybody in the audience draw? Can we get fan art of this guy?
He's a pretty good boy.
Mechanic. Repair 30 drones or turrets. I wonder if that unlocks anything. I'm gonna scrounge up some stuff, and then we will activate the teleporter.
Okay.
I'm gonna really quickly see if moving to the other Wi-Fi network is connection better.
Alright, you're actually pretty okay right now, but if you want to try, you certainly can. It was just for a second you turned into a robot, but...
Okay.
Wi-Fi connections are ephemeral things. Also, I don't think I said what we're doing in the second half of the show yet. We are going to be checking out the new DeadCells update.
Hey,
that's actually, like, notably worse.
There is a terminal, a shop here.
Okay.
Got the mushroom thing.
Okay, I switched back. Blood. Is it better now?
Yes.
Hello?
Let me see. Yeah, you're better now than you were on the other one.
Okay, I thought as much, but I wanted to just
You wanted to check, I understand.
To make sure.
You can take everything in here, Trey, man. I'm pretty good on items for the time being. Oh, it's like all healing items, huh?
Yeah.
I think the Reluctant Slug, or whatever it's called, is slightly better.
Yeah.
Cautious Slug, that's it.
I've got 2 of those now.
I could write a think piece about how Half-Life is about colonialism, because it totally is. I would read that think piece and recommend it to my friends. I actually don't generally recommend think pieces to my friends, but if I did...
I feel like there are very few think pieces worth recommending to one's friend.
Oh, it's not even that. It's just like a lot of the good ones are depressing. So
that's also true.
I don't like to be the person that's like, hey, you need to read this incredibly depressing article about like the development of the alt-right or whatever the hell. It's just not. It's not really like a fun thing to just DM your friends on Discord, you know?
Yeah, this is why I generally restrict the sort of things that I like on the internet that I actually share with other people to things like, you know, Adam Neely, you know, doing a musical analysis of the use of weird modal techniques in All the Single Ladies.
All the Single Ladies. All the Single Ladies. Can you believe that song was, like, not very well liked when it first came out? Because that's wild.
Oh, yeah. And he was actually responding to somebody claiming that, you know, like, oh, it's so, you know, hard. Like, somebody using it as an example of how awful modern pop music is, and then claiming that it's incredibly simple. Which, like, even and he basically, decided to use it as a jumping off point to be like, actually, this song is way weirder than people think it is.
Yeah,
Which is,
I'm
it
I'm
is
pretty
noticeably.
mid
And that's the thing, is that
most
people
of...
kind of ignore that as well frequently, is like, that it's actually in Mixolydian flat 6.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what that means. It
Major
sounds
with
impressive.
Major with a flattened 6th and 7th degree.
Okay,
it's a jazz mode.
Like, almost know what that means, I think.
It is.
I have a vague idea, at least.
It is a mode of melodic minor or jazz.
Oh yeah, because like modal jazz is a genre of music. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but yeah, melodic minor.
So both of us have war banners, so all of the bubble thing with each other because we're chilling in the same spot.
Yeah. I don't think being within more than one gives you like a stacked bonus either, so I guess we should spread out a little bit.
But also it does another interesting weird thing, which is that after the chorus, it does a thing known as dominant.
Dominant what?
Which sounds like a kink thing, but it isn't. Dominant extension is when you hang on the 5 chord of a progression, and specifically a dominant 7th chord, for, a length of time while expanding upon a melody in that particular mode of the key.
I see.
And that's not a thing that shows up in a lot in modern pop music. It does show up in classical music and occasionally in like really old standards and stuff. But it doesn't show up in modern pop music, and yet, what song does it? All the Single Ladies.
This is reminding me of that one conversation. Did we have this on the show about how weird sicko mode is?
Yeah, structurally sicko mode is pretty weird.
It's the Bohemian Rhapsody of rap.
Why is it dark now? That was weird.
Not in the sense that it's the staying power of Bohemian Rhapsody, but certainly its entire frame of reference, I guess, as far as like the.
Yeah.
It is very.
It's also got like a lot of references to older songs in it.
Yeah, it's an interesting song. I need to revisit it, like, at least partly to be like, just how hard is Logic biting Drake's
No, there is definitely there's the part where Drake is just like giving directions to his house, which is, by the way, maybe the funniest thing on a major pop song in recent memory.
And him talking about taking Xanax just to go to sleep, not to get high, to go to sleep.
There's a part where he's like, and then you take a left and a right.
Yeah.
Took a left. And that's what the fucking Logic song is. It's just that part.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah. Also, incidentally, Out of Sight, while being relatively tolerable, I just wanted to mention, basically has just one short verse repeated over and over again. That's the whole damn song.
Not actually super weird anymore, but it is weird for Logic.
Yeah.
It's more common in those like short melodic trap songs that are all the rage these days. People like fucking Trippie Redd or somebody. Oh no.
Yeah, but like I don't know, but
one
also,
of those damn white. God.
But like, I don't know. I'd rather. I'd honestly rather listen to Trippie Redd.
Trippie Redd has a couple good songs. Like, I'm not huge on most of his music, but
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that I'd much rather listen to Trippie Redd than Logic trying to be Trippie Redd. Just like, or God, worse. What if Logic just like really blows out and like desperately tries to be Lil Uzi Vert after Lil Uzi Vert has finally ceased to be relevant.
People are like really fiending for his new album because it's apparently like being held back by the label for weird reasons.
Huh.
Also, it's called Eternal Atake, which is a really high-minded title for a Lil Uzi Vert album.
I mean,
The challenge of the
Eternal
mountain.
what?
Eternal Atake. I don't know what it means either.
Atake?
It sounds vaguely
How is it spelled?
Egyptian to me. Atake. Little Green Uzi.
Oh,
Honestly, it's probably
Might also be
gotta look
Japanese
it up.
because Uzi Vert's kind of a huge weeb.
yeah,
Yeah.
he does seem to be a huge.
things happen.
Things are...
Go get something from one of those terminals over there.
I'm gonna... Let's see here. What do we got? Ooh, we got the missile launcher. And the Chrono
My
Bobble.
dead body isn't there anymore.
Chrono Bobble.
I think it's supposed to be a take, as in he says, a take means to overtake in a message on Twitter. But then I don't know. I don't.
No
even
idea
know.
then. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't follow Uzi's music super closely. I just know that that's like a thing
I just
that's
look-
been going around recently because I guess his label's kind of screwing him over. Which, regardless of what you think of his music, sucks. Like,
Yeah, it does.
that's a bad situation to be in as a reasonably popular artist.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's from Philadelphia.
Yep, he's from Philly.
He's also
Reasonably-
2 years young.
Yeah, that's the weird thing with, like, a lot of the current, like, pop trap people, is most of them are pretty
Yeah,
young.
they're
Like, I
all-
think Juice WRLD is, like, 19,
Yeah.
which is just frightful.
Yeah, like, Lil Pump is about that age.
Juice.
Crap.
So Juice
Lil
WRLD.
Xan, weirdly
it-
young.
His album art is themed after. And the fact that he's 19 makes me wonder: was he around for when the original Twisted Metal games came out for the PlayStation?
Holy
Maybe?
shit.
Hard, maybe.
I'm not
He'd be
sure. I
young.
don't know when those came
He'd be
out.
young.
Just like...
I'm young for those, and I'm 22.
But yeah, I know I know this property is not actually Japanese, but one of Uzi's like earlier mixtapes had like really heavily Scott Pilgrim influenced album art.
Yes. Yes, I
Actually, a couple of them did.
remember. Okay, he's actually... Juice WRLD turned 20 in December.
Okay. Still.
Which... What the fuck? I
Right?
mean, okay, like... Well, granted, by the same token, you know, in a completely different... Billie Eilish, who I don't even think she's 18.
Yeah, Billie Eilish is really young. By the way, does anybody think that it's weird how much people hate her for seemingly no reason?
I mean, it's my...
What? What'd you
It's
say?
misogyny. It's
Is that how you pronounce that?
misogyny.
I always thought it was misogyny.
Well, misogyny... Well, either way.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
yeah, like no, you're right, but also
Yeah,
like
either way is correct.
she's such an inoffensive person. Like I don't know.
Yeah, she's...
I keep
You
hearing
know.
she's an industry plant. That doesn't fucking mean anything anymore. I don't know if it ever
That-
did.
Yeah, it's like, that term is just such bullshit. Like, I mean, granted, if you're gonna, you know, complain about somebody, you know, getting, like, undue exposure, maybe it's more relevant to point to people who like a good example would be the whole situation with Lana Del Rey, of how she actually did try to have a music career before she adopted that pseudonym, and it failed spectacularly.
Yeah, but that's not rare either. I don't know. I just don't think it's
That's
important,
also
I guess.
true.
Like,
Yeah, it really isn't. But I'm
most
just saying, like,
reasonably popular artists have some kind of label backing. And I know you're not agreeing with those people. It's just like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't get why people care.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be, that's like, rockism, basically.
Yeah, I guess so, but like, I don't know. Led Zeppelin were signed to a label at some point too. It's just not. I mean,
it's not.
It's all bullshit. I don't know. Who cares?
I mean, it's not like, the thing about rockists is that their preoccupation with authenticity is generally extremely fucking shallow. And incidentally, rockism doesn't necessarily just have to do with rock music. Like, a lot of hip-hop culture.
Yeah, the whole real hip-hop da-da-da thing. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I wandered outside the level boundaries. I forgot you could do that.
Oh, no. Wait, what's going on?
Nothing's happening now, but I was, like, getting attacked
How
by
did you do...
evil tentacles, because I went too far that way.
Oh, the evil tentacle thing, yeah.
Yeah, they're, I forget what the term is, but they're like a level boundary.
Yeah.
Other games call them invisible walls. But they're not.
Yeah, but then generally those are actually walls.
Yeah.
You know?
I know that in Destiny, the way that they do it is your screen just flashes red while your character takes damage, and it says "turn back."
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same.
Why?
Same thing, basically. I really can't find this teleporter.
It's on the other side.
Oh, did you find it already?
Yeah, you passed it while you were on the big hill that's on the other side where it's spawned.
Okay, let's see here. Tell me if I'm getting warmer or colder, Trey.
Warmer.
Alright.
It's through the, like, tunnel thing
that way?
on your left there, yeah.
Alright. I think this one's ours? Yeah, he's still around.
Yeah.
Cool. I kind of figured he would get destroyed when you did, since it was your item, but I guess not.
But
he
yeah,
will stick around until he dies. Then after that, he will come back when I do. After passing help.
I guess the other thing I was gonna say was, like, that in terms of, you know, with respect to Billie Eilish, is there don't seem to be any actual salient musical criticisms of her from the people who complain about her being an industry plant.
I mean, like, I don't really like her music either, but...
Yeah, I'm just saying,
yeah,
generally speaking, they don't really follow. You know, like, it's just apparently self-evident.
Yeah, it's...
I don't know.
It's one of those things, like, I used to care a lot about what music other people listen to, and at some point I just realized that there were more important things in the world, like... I don't know. As long as you're not buying R. Kelly albums, I don't care. That's really kind of the gist of it.
Buying what?
As long as you're not buying R. Kelly albums, I don't care.
Okay, that's a good line to draw in the sand.
And I'm dead. Cool. That was a waste of time. You guys think we should switch over to the DeadCells now?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Trey?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Quit to menu. Ah, okay. That makes sense, Trey. No worries. Yeah, people don't talk that way about Lil Dicky, who was literally a marketing, like a marketer before he became a rapper. I forgot about that, but that is a true thing about him.
Incidentally, I'll admit, with regards to Billie Eilish, is I've heard like a handful of songs of hers, and I don't know, they're fine. Actually, pretty decent. I like them.
Why did you say that DeadCells is running? It's definitely not.
Bury a Friend is very strange. Like, section, saying, I'd probably find it bland. I would say that actually that song is really fucking bizarre, and I don't know how it became a hit.
I don't know how being popular works anymore.
Yeah,
which I know sounds like a crazy thing, but like I like by the way, we are going to keep talking about this while I try to figure out why the fuck DeadCells won't open.
But yeah, it's like, that song has, I've heard it noted, and it actually is, sonically it is relatively similar. Like, there are definitely overtones of Kanye's song Black Skinhead in it, rhythmically and so forth. But I feel like even that is, not a great comparison, because it's more bizarre and alienating than that.
Well, Black Skinhead is supposed to be weird, and
I know, but that's my point. It's even more so than that.
Yeah, and the thing about Bury a Friend is that it is a pop song and is fairly popular as far as I can tell. I don't.
Yeah, it got up to number 14.
Don't understand why this isn't opening. It says the game's already running, but it's definitely not.
But I get, I guess that was sort of my point, is that it's within the context of pop music, it's even odder.
Yeah.
It's sort of in the same domain as something The Knife would have done.
I remember them.
15 years ago.
They have one song that I really like, and I don't think I've ever actually listened to any of their albums.
This one is not from their... This was their last album, which is way more out there than a lot of their previous stuff. Shaking the Habitual is really good. Also, it's 100 minutes long.
The Knife song that I liked, I do not remember the name of it. I'm gonna have to go hunting for it later.
Yeah, they,
It's like a weird synth pop song. Mike Will made it. Oh, yeah. I like most of Mike Will made its production. Although, he's one of those people who's got a stable of ghost producers, so I don't know how much of his beats are actually him. The ear drummers. Which is 30 people, I think.
Jeez.
Can I get this to run now? Let's see. Play DeadCells. Okay, restarting Steam seems to have fixed the problem.
Alexa, play Despacito.
Alexa, play DeadCells.
Yes.
Alright. Let me know how the audio sounds for you guys in the audience, and we're gonna just jump right in here. I'm
Alexa,
not going
play
to
the collected discography of Desaffinato.
Desaffinato. Anyway, I haven't played this game in a year.
Oh.
So this is gonna be fun.
Oh, yes. Yeah. This... I remember the one time, like, that when, my power was still out and, had no internet, that, I showed up when you were playing this.
Yeah. We played it on the show, like, a couple times. And the reason I thought we should do it today is because there's a new expansion out. Good night, Mur.
Good night, Mur.
Which I believe, like, installed as part of the update that it did earlier. If it did not, I will look into that earlier. Or later, rather. But yeah, there was a free expansion that came out, and I was like, you know what, I haven't played this in a long time. Why not? Yeah.
Brutality.
Yeah, the stat names in this game are really fun. It's like brutality, dexterity, and I forget what the third one is.
So does that mean that that your presumable fight theme just suddenly has a like chugging slam?
I fucking knew that was gonna be a joke about brutal death metal before you even said a word. I was like, he's gonna fucking make a joke about the genre, isn't he? And I was right.
I mean, it's better than what I would have come up with. I probably would be uncreative and use Mortal Kombat shit.
Look, I like Mortal Kombat. I don't think I've ever listened to a brutal death metal song.
As Thundercat says, I'm all about Johnny.
He does say that.
Yeah.
I mean, just for the record, I would not be surprised if at least a few brutal death metal bands were very fond of Mortal Kombat.
There's probably plenty of metal musicians who are very fond of DeadCells.
Yeah.
It's a good video game. Also, do you know that the developer of this game is like an anarchist collective?
That's fun.
Or not, no, what's the term? A syndicate, I think? Like, the company is owned by the people that work there and everybody makes the exact same salary?
Yeah, a workers' cooperative?
That's it. I used two, like, in the same ballpark but not correct terms. I think workers' collective is what it's actually called.
I mean, syndicate would be a reference to syndicalism, which is, anarcho-syndicalism is a school of anarchism.
I know that because they are prominent in a Hearts of Iron 4 mod that I play a lot of.
Huh.
I'm smart. No, I'm not. Anyway.
But, not all syndicalists are anarcho-syndicalists, but, they are the most noteworthy modern syndicalists.
How do I use the teleporters? I don't remember. Heck. Maybe you can only... Yeah, okay, you can only use them from each other. That's my bad. Let's go over here. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing about this game. In fact, I think they might actually, like, the dev team might actually be called Red Star or something similarly on the nose. I have to double check.
Oh, Lord. Well, I mean, if they're doing good work...
Yeah, this game also has Twitch integration, by the way, which I need to figure out how to turn on. And I don't know what the Twitch integration actually does, but I know it exists. What do we got down here? I have never seen this thing before. I've never seen that either. Forgotten map. Reveals your surroundings only working once. Okay. So what are you guys doing?
Not much. Just watching you play DeadCells.
It's a good game.
Watching your every move.
Stalker Vashtar. What does Sredni Vashtar mean, anyway?
It is the title of a short story by H.H. Munro, who wrote under the pen name Saki. And it is a short story about a boy named Conradin, who's, she's an older cousin, like, an aunt, essentially. Is his guardian, and Conradin is very ill, probably terminally ill, and his guardian, Ms. Derop, is one of those insufferable, very proper people who kind of just, she, would never, it stated, right at the beginning of the story, essentially, that she would never admit that she didn't like him, but she, enjoys thwarting him, essentially.
Thwarting
him. And just basically making his life sort of miserable, but at the same time it's like, quote unquote, for his own good.
Yeah. Trey, is that you?
Hello.
Hi.
And so he manages to, without her knowledge, acquire 2 pets that he hides in an old shed behind their house. One is a hen, and the other is in a very dark hutch at the back, a polecat. A rather large polecat.
A polecat.
Which he decides is a god. And he decides to and he refers to it as Sredni Vashtar. And essentially forms a cult around it.
So your username of choice comes from a skunk deity?
No, not a skunk. A polecat, as in the... no, the term polecat is sometimes used to refer to skunks in the United States, but actually it refers to the precursor to ferrets that are the wild equivalent. They're larger than ferrets.
I did not know that there was like a wolf-dog situation going on with ferrets.
Yes. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The European polecat. Well, it's described as a polecat ferret, which is a hybrid.
I see. And you like ferrets, so this makes sense.
Yes. But it's basically a revenge story. Like, that's all that bit is essentially the setup, but then, basically you can see where potentially this could go. You know what I mean? You really
vaguely?
You should read it.
Maybe I will.
It's rather short. It's online. It's not in copyright or anything because it was written in the 90s.
Perhaps I will do that.
Yeah, it's simultaneously funny and kind of disturbing, but it really does end with one of the best and nastiest comeuppances in Victorian literature.
In Victorian literature, all about that comeuppance.
Well, I mean...
Comeuppance.
Like, Saki loved his irony.
And that's why he fought with Naruto.
Even I know that. And I'm like, just...
I'm sorry, Sredni, but it is also very gratifying to me to listen to you talk about something for like 10 minutes and then destroy it all with a very stupid joke. Sasuke wrote Sredni Vashtar.
Oh, Jesus.
He details his destruction of the ninja clans. I don't know anything about Naruto.
I do know that originally in Naruto, the main character was going to actually be a kitsune spirit.
Kind of sounds like cowardice that he didn't do that.
Yeah, originally the character also rode a motorcycle, and that's where the stupid headband came from.
Why did they change it?
Because originally he had a pair of motorcycle goggles on his head. I don't know, actually.
I think it was because he said that it was too hard to draw consistently as a manga artist.
Fucking damn it.
Which, I don't think he would make that mistake now that he's been drawing manga for like 10 years, but like...
Does he still draw Boruto, or does somebody else do that?
I think Boruto
No, that's
somebody
Boruto
else.
is
Yeah.
his assistant.
I see. Does he still draw manga, or is he like retired?
He does. He just kind of moved on from Naruto, essentially. Like, he got tired of it.
I mean, like, get your millions and dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he made bank off it, so good for him.
Yeah.
I mean...
Is this where I mentioned the manga that I read last night? Because, boy, was that an experience.
What did you read?
Let's start with the fact that it's literally called After School Bitchcraft and go from there. Possibly the greatest title that anything has ever had.
After School Bitchcraft.
Yes, okay. So...
That's magical.
Are you familiar with The Ancient Magus Bride?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not super familiar, but
you know the broad premise. I just want you to imagine that, except the main character is replaced with the Gyaru, and that's basically it. Like, it's a stupid ecchi manga, but it's just good enough that I wish it were a lot better.
Okay, but is weird husband guy
No, weird husband.
Does he have a skull for a head?
There's no weird husband guy in
God damn it.
In Bitchcraft. It's just like her teacher. And they actually, to the manga's infinite credit, they do not have a romantic relationship.
That's fair. Although I do have to confess that I do find, strange cow skull man actually fairly attractive.
I take no surprise from this revelation. That seems like something you would do.
There's literally nothing surprising about that.
No, not at all.
Ladies and
also
gentlemen,
in the anime, he has a really nice voice.
That I can agree with, yeah.
Just a very pleasing voice.
Sonorous tones.
Indeed.
Yeah, but actually, now that I think of it, the guy from Bitchcraft kind of looks like, what's his face from Full Metal Alchemist? Mustang. Which, they don't have similar personalities at all, but they do look kind of similar.
Yeah, but that's an incredibly funny combination, it's like the Ancient Magus Bride, but instead of, like Skull Mentor, she has Roy Mustang Teacher, and she's a Gyaru.
Yes. Which I think is actually what the title is supposed to convey, because of, like...
Yes, I get what you mean.
Meaning degradation in a borrowed word, but...
Yes.
It's like, literally the funniest title of all time.
It really is.
And again, it's one of those things that's like just good enough where I'm like, I really wish this was not
better
the way it was.
Yeah, that's understandable.
There's like a genuinely sweet sequence in the first chapter where she like saves a dying cat who just got hit by a car, and like that's like a whole thing. And then after that, it just goes back to boob. It's a very tonally confused piece of work.
Oh man, I've definitely seen things like that.
I feel like what happened is the author wanted to make this very serious, like, character study manga, and the magazine was like, okay, well, we need another titty manga, so you're doing that. And she tried to do both, and it doesn't really quite work.
Oh, dear.
The
editor said, where are the boobies at?
I'm just thinking, like...
I am going to get some water real quick, because I ran out of soda.
Oh,
and I'm thirsty. I will be back shortly.
I beam some through my head.
Beaming water through headphones is just a mental image that is messing with me on pretty much the same level as Logic's biracial dick.
Oh no. Oh no. God.
I really hope
at least one of them is an impossibility that's, like, beneficial.
Oh, true. Whereas us thinking about Logic in any way is probably dangerous. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, thinking too long about that album is dangerous for one's own mind.
He put it right in the title.
Yeah, if he just put, a biohazard sticker on the front cover, then we would all be safe. So that we didn't get cut on the edge and get infected.
What if Shadow the Hedgehog were created in 2019? Would he listen to Logic?
I still think that, like, he would be... he'd be more likely to listen to, like, I don't know. Maybe, because, like, I feel like maybe... Would Triple X Tentacion be too edgy for that?
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
Because, like, in terms of, like, insufferable teenage stans, like...
Shadow would absolutely listen to the world.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
Just... I mean, incidentally, it is worth noting that, like...
Hey, what's up? I'm back. Why has somebody said Shadow would listen to Juice WRLD in my chat?
Because we were just discussing whether or not Shadow the Hedgehog...
The Spotify Discover Weekly profile of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Like, whether or not, he would
You
listen
people do evil things whenever I'm not here. Evil,
like, whether or not he
things.
would listen to Logic was basically our question.
Okay, first of all, Shadow would not listen to Logic. Shadow would listen to Hobson. Secondly...
Oh, God! That's really... I was saying, maybe X,
There's too many people whose names have an X in them for me to know who you're talking
Triple X Tentacion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, God,
Yeah,
oh, fuck.
Triple X Tentacion and Hobson is the best option. Well, not best. Best as in worst option here.
Well, no, he would think that Hobson is the best. He would also talk a lot about how nobody makes real hip-hop anymore.
Oh, God. Just... Oh, God. Oh, why? Oh, God.
Currently envisioning Shadow posting on r/unpopular opinions about how, hip-hop is dead except for Hobson. Uh-oh.
Except for Hobson. Oh, fuck.
Unknown artifact. What is this?
Consideration. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Ill Mind of Hobson, number 27.
Cinematic parallels. This permanent rune unlocks the custom mode. Okay, I don't know what that's all about.
Oh, God. The mode. It's the mode where you can be custom.
One assumes. I suppose I will check that out after we're done with this run.
If it is your desire.
Hey, somehow my skill at this game has not completely vanished. Like, I'm not as good as I used to be, but I was kind of expecting to, like, die on the first level a whole bunch.
We love being decent at videography.
It's a rare feeling.
Yeah, you know, I bought Rage 2, and I found myself, like, comically just shocked at how bad I am at first-person shooters.
Rage 2, the sequel to Rage.
A game nobody remembers.
Wait, I can't make that joke, because that's just actually what it is.
Yeah?
It is the sequel to a game that was just called Rage.
Yeah. I think Rage came out at the same time that Rage comics were popular. But I don't think that anybody cared enough about Rage to make a Rage comic about Rage.
Oh dear.
Cinematic parallels.
Cinematic parallel.
Y'all have seen that Rage comic that's like...
So, no. Outrage. It's Rage, but very openly gay.
Sredni. If not for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you.
Don't kill me. I can't die. I'll just be in pain forever.
Bold of you to assume that that's not a thing that's happening already.
Exactly. Now I'm just remembering the, what is it called? Sort of, those sort of column, versus, file, things of bold of you to X or, like, please
Yes.
X.
Yes.
Just remembering the one with, bold of you to,
Yes, Sredni?
like, bold of you to hurt my friends with, like, I believe it was Goku. But then in the another point of, please kill my friends, which is Shinji Ikari.
I should finish that series one day.
It's really good, actually.
Maybe I can finish that after I finish watching Heartcatch Precure. Just, like, follow the happy show for children with just a straight chaser of concentrated depression.
Yeah, it is kind of... Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit... Well, I mean, it's literally... Like, if you read between the lines, and by the end of Eva, it's not even between the lines, it's about depression.
Like all great art, am I right, fellow critics?
Oh my fucking god.
I'm kidding.
No, I'm just remembering that there was, like, a guy on a Discord server I'm on who, was talking about how he'd been seriously put off from short stories by the fact that his professor in this one class basically, just every single short story that he, had the class read was just tremendously depressing or about, some horribly angsty topic.
Yeah.
And even though they were all, like, on their own perfectly decent stories, it just became incredibly wearying.
What is this?
And even the ones that actually had a sense of humor to them it was like, I couldn't even appreciate that at the time simply for the fact that it was just non-stop misery.
Yeah, a pretty classic problem to have, I think.
Although I will say that it was interesting that Kelly Link's Two Houses was one of the stories there that was in the that was in, which I thought was interesting because it was like mostly realistic stories. There was like one Haruki Murakami story in the syllabus and Two Houses, which it's literally framed as a bunch of astronauts who've just come out of suspended animation telling each other ghost stories on a spacecraft. And then one of them tells a story about how they grew up in, which was so this guy in England in the story took a house in which a horrible murder had occurred and had it taken apart brick by brick and reassembled on his estate, and then had an exact replica of that house built, and that the person telling the story supposedly grew that house, one of those houses, not knowing whether it was the replica or the actual house, which supposedly was haunted.
What is this ship of Theseus shit?
Yeah, exactly. It's really, there's a lot of chick in that story.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's really creepy. Like, Kelly Link is really good at, like, well, I mean, sometimes her stuff is, like, just kind of funny. Or just weird in kind of, like, an emotion. But it's also, like, deeply disturbing. And when she does something that's deeply disturbing, it is deeply disturbing. Like, that and, like, Water Off a Black Dog's Back, which is terrifying.
You know what's really terrifying, Sredni?
What?
The fact that I don't play games unless we're talking Fortnite.
I mean, that's still not as scary as the fact that there are still people who actually listen to Hobson.
That's true. Like, Hobson is genuinely just a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are we dropping?
Hobson is for people that enjoyed Tyler the Creator's early output and then just wish that he continued to be like that instead of discovering his sexuality.
Hobson is for people who wish that Tyler the Creator was a wife beater.
Oh, God.
Oh.
That's not a joke he, actually did. He's not a nice man by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. Jeez.
Actually, one of the few Sheldon Pierce reviews I really like is his review of, I don't remember the name of the album anymore, but the most recent Hobson album for Pitchfork.
Ill Mind of Hobson 26?
No, it had some stupid generic title that I don't remember anymore.
Ill Mind of Hobson Pie.
Now, Trey, to be fair, I think there are only 12 Ill Mind songs.
Yeah.
To be fair.
They're only just into double digit.
267. Wow, so prolific.
Rasafan is a good show.
Yeah, I also noticed the conversation about mega anime in the chat, but I never know where I stand on those because I haven't seen many of the landmark super robot shows.
All things considered, I probably like it, Razafan, but at the same time, Razafan has a interesting things going for it that I think a lot of people don't take into account when, they bring up the whole, like, comparisons between the two.
Mm-hmm. Also, it is definitely super overrated, but I do still like Gurren Lagann.
I actually haven't seen Gurren Lagann, and it doesn't particularly seem like my thing.
It is definitely not your thing, no. It's enjoyable entry into the genre if you are into, like, super robot shows.
Like, I mean, it seems fun, it just doesn't seem like my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you're looking for, like, the definitive example of that kind of show, I think that Die Buster is much better. But Die Buster is also significantly, like, because it never had a televised release in the United States, it is significantly more obscure among Western anime fans, at least.
But, but that doesn't matter to me because I am on my hipster, my hipster otaku bullshit. Just pure weeb. All the way down.
The original Gunbuster is also very good, but is more similar to Eva than to Gurren Lagann. Gunbuster is a very strange show.
Also, speaking of, like, utterly miserable mech shows, I will say that what I saw of Bokurano was really fucking good.
Bokurano has a great theme song, and I know...
Yes.
I have pretty much no other interest in it whatsoever, but that's fine.
Also, fun fact, I, noticed, like, there was something sort of interesting was, I noticed that the theme song to Bokurano felt very much like Yuki Kajira's work. The person who did the soundtrack to, for example, Madoka Magica and all those B-Train shows. And that one Dot Hack show, or actually a couple of the Dot Hack shows, I think. Madlax, Noir, all those.
Right, they're the ones who have that trilogy of shows that are about women with guns.
Yeah, the Girls with Guns shows.
Which, I need to watch any of those at some point.
Yeah, apparently they're, people seem to have, like, mixed opinions on them, but,
I know what I like, and I would probably enjoy them.
But they do seem like your aesthetic. So, like, they're definitely for a very particular, like, kind of person, I guess, it seems. But, there's one of the, defining things about them, like, Yuki Kajira's soundtracks for those shows. But here's the interesting thing. I found out that Chiaki Ishikawa, who wrote the theme song for Bokurano Uninstall, which actually was previously famous for being in a duo called Seesaw. You know who the other half of that duo was?
Who?
Yuki Kajira. And that kind of, like, that's sort of wild to me. Is like, oh, huh. And it's like, so it doesn't surprise me at all that they have similar melodic sensibilities and writing styles. Because they actually worked together in a band for over a decade.
Well, you know what they say.
Yes. Go on.
You know. You know what they say.
One life gives you 11.
If you know, you know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
That's also a good song.
But yeah, actually, Bokurano is legitimately really good. Although I can understand why you'd be not particularly interested in it.
I don't, it's not a value judgment on the series, but I don't really care for shows that have a very depressing outlook, which, to my understanding, Bokurano is, one of the most of that.
I feel like it's I feel like it's slightly exaggerated, because the funny thing is, I became aware of spoilers for the endings of both the manga and the show, which they go in very different directions. But I generally get the feeling that actually the underlying of both, although different, are probably not as bleak as a lot of people make them out to be.
I mean, maybe, but
it's just that it is. But it is dark.
Yeah, it's a question of would I guess, would I rather watch that than something I think I would actually enjoy, and for me the answer is usually no. But sometimes I will experiment with other things.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's mainly what makes it really enjoyable is that it's really well observed.
Really what?
It's really well observed. That you have these characters who you really only get a full view of them for an episode or two, but they feel very well realized regardless. It's rather impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't actually have qualitative opinions on the series. I just don't know if I like it, is the thing.
Yeah, that's
if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, there are things that don't necessarily or that I like, but I respect them a lot more than I them. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's not uncommon. I mean, I definitely respect what Hiroshi Harada was doing with Midori Shoujo Tsubaki. But do I like Midori Shoujo Tsubaki? I don't know.
I feel like we might be slightly too deep in anime territory right now. Which is not a huge problem, but you know.
Do you know Midori Shoujo Tsubaki?
I don't think I've ever heard of it, honestly.
It's kind of notorious. It was adapted from a comic by Suehiro Maruo, who, after Shintaro Kago, is the most known Goro mangaka.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about something else.
It's not a pornographic thing or anything.
I know, but
dark.
it's just I don't know if this is super fertile ground for two-way discussion.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, for one thing, it is
on this series.
Basically, it was
good night section.
Good night section. All I kind of wanted to say about it was this guy literally did this as, a passion project. He painted every cell by hand over the course of 5 years. And I can't knock that. Whether or not I actually enjoy it is a completely different question, because it's one of the most oppressively bleak things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
I mean, sure. I mean, that's one of those things, though, where, like, I feel like something taking a lot of effort doesn't necessarily make it impressive. Not that I have any opinions on this thing specifically, because I don't know what it is. But...
Well, that's true. I mean, it's...
like...
I mean, it is... Like, the actual, you know... Like, individual frames and things are also beautiful, is the thing. Like, the artwork... Well, it's partly because it's based on Maruo's artwork, and Maruo's artwork is gorgeous, even when it's depicting very fucked up things.
Sure.
It's
like, I
beautiful.
mean, like I said, I mean, I'm trying to bring the conversation to a more general place, but, like... I just... It's one of those things where it's like, you know... You can make an entire pizza from scratch by yourself, but doesn't necessarily make you a great chef. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I guess my point was more about like that, like it's not merely that it's impressive, that it is, you know, like I can see the aesthetic value.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I have a great deal of respect for this, and I appreciate what it was going for, and I think it achieved what it was going for. It's just that, does that mean I like it? Not necessarily. But and then there are also things that I like that I can admit have huge gaping flaws.
Sure. There's also plenty of series that have like a very depressing outlook, which are also very bad. And at that point...
Oh, yeah.
And at that point, it's not really a question anymore. It's kind of was my problem with fucking Asuka, actually.
Or, you know, Dead Man Wonderland, arguably Elfen Lied.
I actually... So this is, like, maybe the hottest anime take that I genuinely hold. I actually thought Dead Man Wonderland was fine. I didn't think it was, like, great, but I thought it was okay.
My brother and I were turned off after 3 episodes, which is surprising because my brother is really actually pretty into that kind of thing where it's like oppressively dark.
I don't know. I guess like
let's see. I ran in the other direction 5 minutes.
Elfen Lied is the worst anime I've ever finished. That's fair. I've never seen Elfen Lied. I don't really ever plan to either.
That's one I've seen more of secondhand, and it's like...
Nobody seems to like it anymore, which I feel is like an indication that something has aged very badly.
Yeah. It's, it is extremely of it.
Like,
And not in a good way.
Yeah. But, I don't know. It might be, like, the reason I hold a small amount of fondness for Dead Man Wonderland might just be because it was the first, original that the revived Toonami picked up.
Huh.
That and Casshern Sins, which I think is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've actually... Yeah, like, what little I've seen of Casshern Sins is like... Yeah, this is really pretty.
It was also responsible for a lot of really dumb memes about cashews, which I also appreciate.
Oh, Lord.
Devour
Cashew
cashews.
Sins.
Devour cashews.
Cashew Sins.
Cashew Sins. No, but like a bunch, like the fucking robot characters, at least in the dub. I don't know if they do this in the original. Like
Fuck,
they.
Have you seen any of the Soul Taker?
No.
That show.
I think that's on my plan to watch, actually, because I was like, this looks awful, but in a good way.
It's not awful. It's bad, raving wild.
Oh, that's even better. No, but
it's like it's like it is Akiyuki Shinbo going balls to the wall. I don't care. I'm just going to make everything as my aesthetic as humanly possible.
I like shows like that. You ever seen fucking Punchline?
I have not, but what I've heard of and seen of it seems interesting.
That's another show that's just basically nonsense, but I really like it.
Yeah, it's like the thing with the Soul Taker is it's like a tribute to like transforming heroes and like
Great,
like
that
just
makes sense. Actually, I didn't know that.
All kinds of wacky tokusatsu stuff.
Sredni, did you know that Eureka 7 and Dead Man Wonderland shared an art director?
Huh.
I did not know that
there's-
before just now.
Their art styles are very similar as a result of it.
Yeah,
And
actually,
it's disconcerting
Yeah.
because I love one and the other is
you're not a fan of the other. I understand.
yeah the type of thing where within like 10 minutes I can be like, what the hell?
Yeah, I would not call Dead Man Wonderland any kind of actually good. Like I said, I think most of my fondness for it comes from the fact that I watched it on Toonami. Funnily enough, there was a brief period of overlap where Toonami was running both Dead Man Wonderland and Eureka 7.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it gonna say? I think that nostalgia is a valid reason to enjoy something, but it is worth, like, recognizing that it is nostalgia.
Yeah,
Like...
It is, like, to be clear, it is not a show I would put anywhere in even, like, my top, like, 50 shows.
No, I totally understand.
It's not a good series. I think, actually, the other thing, I did really like the character designs.
Yeah, like, what I saw at the character designs was, I mean, a little much, but fine.
I like that in shows, though. Actually, like, I think the character designs were one of the few positive qualities about Asuka, actually.
Yeah, like, a little much can be fun.
There's a character who has a flamethrower and, like, a fucking DBZ scouter on her face.
Oh my god.
It's great.
Incidentally, the character designer was also the guy, was the character designer for, the anime adaptation of, the Monogatari series.
Huh.
Yeah. It was one of the first times he worked with, actually.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's like, it's to the point that there is a character that really looks like Senjo Gahara in it.
Wait, in what?
In the Soul Taker. There's a character
okay, I'm sorry.
Looks like Senjo Gahara.
I thought we were still talking about Dead Man Wonderland, and then you said the thing about Senjo Gahara, and I was like, wait a second.
No, I was talking about the Soul Taker. No, it's like, same director, same character designer. Like, I think that they first what was it called? That, the TV series of... oh god, what day was this one show?
Oh god, oh fuck.
I can't remember what they originally worked on together, but it's actually
it's fine.
I like that character designer. So
we should talk about the fact that I'm about to die in this video game.
Don't die. Dying is bad for you, don't you know?
It's real.
So, I've only heard about these secondhand, but apparently they exist. T-shirts for jugglers that say the juggle is real on them. And I wanted to get some thoughts on that from you guys.
The juggle is okay, I get it now.
The juggle.
I'm not happy that I get it. Oh.
The juggle is real.
Oh, fuck.
On the topic of t-shirts, the reason I was late to stream was actually because I was making a t-shirt that has a lightning bolt on it. The way that I draw myself in all of my my doodles that I do. So that so as to make it so that actually exists
For
in
true
real
life,
because
yeah.
I am a nerd.
Neat.
I mean, I would wear a t-shirt with a lightning bolt on it.
Yeah.
I would wear many kinds of t-shirts.
I actually have another one, but it's blue. I needed this one to be green.
I see. I have a bunch of solid color t-shirts, actually, because the thrift shop near where I live sells them for like $1 a piece. So I just bought a bunch the one day, and now I have a bunch of shirts that are just like solid red. It's not the most, provocative
So what you
fashion
gotta do
statement.
now is get some iron-on paper, make it so that it says the juggle is real on it. And then when people ask if you're a juggler, you say, no, I'm just juggling life.
Or you say, no, I'm just a huge fan of the Insane Clown Posse.
Oh no.
Which people would
No,
immediately detect as a lie, because no one is. That's not true. They have one of the most rabid fan bases in music.
They also the Gathering of the Juggalo is actually has a surprisingly interesting lineup.
Is soon and has a very strange lineup that includes underground Memphis rapper Ghost Main and also a fast food themed Black Sabbath cover band called Mac Sabbath.
I have heard of them, yes.
Well, in this house, we are down with the clown.
In this house, we are down with the clown.
Didn't Danny Brown perform at one?
Danny Brown has a song with ICP.
Yeah. That's not surprising.
It's called When I'm Clownin'. It's terrible, except for Danny's part, which is really good.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what you'd expect from that combination, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, but it's like they sometimes have like some surprisingly interesting people who perform at that thing.
They have a lot of industry goodwill, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Because they're like
they seem
nice people.
Like actually nice people is like most of it.
The fucking thing about Violent J taking his daughter to a furry convention while in a fursuit is basically my favorite news headline of all time.
Yeah. And
supportive father, Violent J.
Yes.
It's about as good as Britney Spears posting her kids' Dragon Ball Z art on Instagram.
That's also very good. I hope Britney Spears is having a good day.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
Actually, doesn't she live on the West Coast? It's probably only like 8 o'clock over there. She might still be up.
Yeah, hopefully.
Ooh.
Okay, wait a second.
You alright, Sredni? Hey, it's the fire from Dark Souls.
Bonfire.
Sredni, you okay? Sredni?
And now I have tortellini in a cream sauce with peppers and things.
Wow, that's a lot of cells that I just got. Hopefully I actually make it to the door so I can use them. Sredni.
Hmm?
I'm sorry, but can you please mute while you're eating?
I'll put the microphone as far away from me as possible.
Alright. Hopefully that will work. Guy Fieri is a powerful ally, that's true. Where the hell do I go?
Oh no. Choose a destination.
Maybe
and watch
down.
out for flies when you teleport.
Did I get a key at some point? Can I open this now? No.
You didn't get a key, but I got a learner's.
You got a what?
A learner's.
For what?
To learn to drive.
Oh, that's cool.
Neat.
Are you going to get a green car
Maybe.
and call it the
I've been-
Traymobile?
I think that if I get a car, my sister mentioned to me in a dream once that she, well, not in my own dream, that she mentioned that she had a dream once where I had a car named Spartacus.
Named
So-
what?
Spartacus.
That's a great name for a car.
I actually ended up adopting that sort of theme where, like, my bike that I rode during my sophomore year of my sophomore year of college was named Apollo, and so we're gonna end up sticking with that idea of Greco-Roman gods, demigods and such.
Cool.
And she came up with it in her subconscious. Kind of interesting.
Yes. I hope your quest to get a driver's license goes well. I am not a car person in any sense of the word, but it's cool that you will be able to get around of your own volition.
You know, it's a little bit of a necessity. Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those where you live things.
Yep.
I am blessed to live in a city with a robust public transportation network.
I miss Lexington.
I was able to get from my house all the way to a mall way out in the suburbs by myself on Tuesday for my interview, which was a surreal feeling to me.
Really?
Yeah, because, like, I have not done anything like that before.
It seems like it would be kind of nice to have that kind of luxury.
I was very anxious, but it was more because of the interview than using the public transportation.
Right. My my time in London and in Birmingham during my trips that I've taken over there, I've gone twice, were characterized by how much I just felt envious toward their public transportation system, because, like, they find them be, like, annoying just on account of the fact that they live there and such and have to deal with the daily struggle of commute and dealing with passengers and such. But when you're visiting, you just
It
find
seems
yourself
nice, yeah.
in awe of how well oiled the machine is in comparison to somewhere like Raleigh, where the public transportation system is a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I lived way out in the sticks, and the extent of our public transportation system out there was, there was a bus called the Pocono Express that ran twice a day. So if you needed to go somewhere, you needed to either get there at 6 in the morning or 6 at night. And if you needed to get there at any other time, then too bad. Also,
effective public services.
Yeah.
Oh no, desecration.
Actually, now that I think of it, I'm not even sure if the Pocono Express was public or if it was like a private company that ran it. I don't really remember.
Pocono Express.
I think it was part of the Susquehanna
Express.
Transit Authority.
Pineapple Express Transit.
Like, I actually looked it up.
PETA.
Excuse me.
I have a Pikachu in my lap.
Oh, good. What kind?
He is several decades old and is missing one of his and tail. But I love him all the time.
Pikachu is good.
Pikachu is very good.
Cece has a big Pikachu. I don't know where he is, but he's in our room somewhere.
The movie is excellent, by the way.
I would like to see it, but I very rarely go to see films. Maybe I will see it someday.
Yeah. Let's see, what else happened?
I'm looking at my
At your what?
I'm looking at my, and I've got a cup that has various logos of smartphone manufacturers drawn next to the Starbucks logo.
Huh.
That is something that I do. It has HTC on it, Motorola, Palm, Samsung, and Apple, and
Starbucks cup.
Yep.
Branding cup.
Excuse me.
Sredni.
I'm sorry.
What do? We digest brand. Brand digestion.
Brand digestion. Goodness. Yeah.
I also have a Dreamcast in close vicinity to me, but it's not hooked up.
For a second, like, for the first part of that sentence, I thought you said a dream catcher. And I was like, well, do you normally need to hook up dream catchers? I was very confused. Do you have any...
Electronic.
Do you have any games for the Dreamcast?
Let's see. Next to me, I have Virtua Tennis and a pirated copy of Rayman 2 Hoodlum. Well, not Hoodlum Havoc, The Great Escape. Although, I bought the game for the PS2, so I am not as morally reprehensible as I could be.
How dare you pirate an out-of-print game that was released 15 years ago?
For
Actually,
the
probably
Dreamcast.
more like 20 at this point, right?
You know, it's 1999, so yeah, 20.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Holy crap.
God, fuck, time.
It'll be 20 in September.
You guys hear that, like, our generation got its first fucking, like, back in specific year song?
Oh gosh.
Either of you heard this?
We got our We Didn't Start the Fire.
It's... Yeah, basically, I guess. Fucking...
What was it?
2002 by Anna Marie.
Okay.
Have either of you heard this single?
I know her, but I haven't heard that
Isn't Anna
song.
Marie the one responsible for FRIEND?
Yes. I don't know, actually. I don't know any of her other music.
That's the one that she sang with Marshmello, did the thing with Marshmello. And
Yeah,
Marshmello is very boring.
he's very much the equivalent to an actual marshmallow in that you eat it and promptly forget about it.
Yeah.
Although, he has had a couple of solid songs, though none of them, of course, are the ones that made it to the radio. And I credit him for finally making it so that the mainstream public knows who the hell churches are.
That is
true.
at least decent.
But I encourage you, in fact, if you're not like occupied with your hands, to go look up the lyrics to 2002, because I actually like pretty much enjoy the song, but it is very much like sort of a shameless nostalgia grab.
I mean,
And it mostly just makes me feel very old.
all I can think is Friends had just such appalling lyrics.
No. Go look up 2002's lyrics. They're probably on Genius or something. Trust me.
Oh, that song.
Yeah.
I find myself like
Living in
because I
South
live
Africa.
because
Sorry.
oh my god.
Sorry. Go on.
I live at home now, which means that I don't listen to as much like
stuff through the radio that is not played on college radio. Most of it is pop radio now, and I only know a few of the songs by name, and the rest of them are just what plays in the background while we're getting from point A to point B.
While you're getting Wendy's, yeah, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So you could tell me that 2002 by Anne Marie made it to I don't know, number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100, and I'd be like, okay, I don't know what the hell that song is, but go on.
I have no conception of how popular this song is.
You know?
I know it has a lot of YouTube plays, but I don't know what that means anymore. So, like...
I'm gonna look to see actually what it made it to on the Billboard Hot.
I don't know if it charted at all, or if it charted and then fell off, or if it has yet to chart.
In America, it is a U.S. bubbling under Hot 100 single at number 4. So that means that if the Hot 100 were over 100, it would be number 104.
That's not too bad, I don't think.
I mean, it's better than a lot of singles get, and also she's had other stuff that has definitely made it in the top 40.
Mm-hmm.
Friends being an example, also Don't Leave Me Alone by David Guetta, which actually I am shocked to admit that I like that song as much as I do. Especially
There's something funny about her. Both of them call an electronic music critic who was lambasting Friends, referring to Marshmello as the second coming of Guetta in a very, very negative.
Yeah, Guetta, I loved his stuff when he was doing his album that Titanium was on, and the one that immediately did it. But as I got older, I kind of lost.
I don't think I can name a single David Guetta song, so I have no strong opinions on the matter.
I just kind of mainly know
Sredni?
Titanium.
Oh, there you are.
Like sort of post chorus does not work.
Most
like
people
that.
think of it as a Sia song. It kind of is.
What song?
The only real reason it had any lasting impact on society was because Sia was on it.
Yeah, and then there's with Akon, Sexy Bitch, which is...
that song's like 15 years old at this point.
Yes.
I don't think it's that old. I guess
not that
more like 10? I don't know.
11.
Time is a flat circle.
Yes.
Waits for no one. It will leave us all behind.
It's true.
Time waits for no one.
But I just thought that it was interesting that we are now old enough that somebody felt that a song that consists mostly of references to other songs would be like a viable hit.
See also 1999 by Troye Sivan and Charlie.
Yeah, same idea.
The principle is the same, yeah. What?
Imagine what the 2010s nostalgia songs will be like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people will have more nostalgia for the first half of this decade than the second.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great googly moogly. It all went to after.
Hopefully the 2020s will be okay.
Yeah. That's also what I hope. Like, to get marginally real for a second.
Yeah.
I do not see a point in ever assuming that things are going to be bad. So, My assumption is always that as long as we work toward it, things will get better. And if they don't, then we can deal with those problems when the time comes.
A fortune cookie told me to believe in the goodness. So I'm going.
A fortune cookie told me that when you come across a fork in the road, use it to eat some spaghetti.
Did it actually say that?
No, I made that up.
It would have been great if it did, though.
Mine is actually real.
Yeah. Sorry, Trey. I didn't mean to leech off your moment with
Did you know
false
that
fortune cookies
are... This is a really bizarre thing. Did you know that fortune cookies are actually originally a Japanese thing?
I have
That
heard
makes
that they
sense.
were, like, briefly a thing in Japan, and then they became popular in America and inexplicably associated with China for some reason.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happened.
Like
They're
the deal.
a thing from, they were originally actually more of a savory thing and much larger, and they're from the Kansai region. Specifically, I think, like, Osaka.
Oh, those crazy Osakans and their comedy
Delicious food.
and delicious food.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
mean,
the
that's
two things I know about the Kansai region.
Yeah, the Kansai region is like... Well, I mean, Osaka in particular, it's like it's known for the Osaka dialect, or Kansai dialect more generally, for specific kinds of comedy that come from there, and for food. Also,
Months.
weird.
Hey, I just had a thought.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, let's steal a segment from another much funnier show and do a Munch Squad. Can we talk about fucking, the KFC ads that have been
Oh no.
a thing in recent months?
God.
You mean with, what?
Influencer Colonel Sanders
Instagram influencer Colonel Sanders.
gaming on Twitter.com.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, what was it that they were mocking and people made them go silence brand for? It was some video. It was Apex. They were criticizing the fact that Apex Legends hasn't released like a major update since like March. Never mind the fact that Apex deliberately chose not to have a super fast update cycle just so that Respawn didn't have to work its
people to the
developers
bone.
to the bone.
Yeah.
Like and KFC is like, oh, it's a dead game, and like the entirety of Twitter.com came from on high to share the crab shooting lasers from an eye. Silence the Colonel.
The laser crab is maybe my favorite reaction image ever.
As they deserve. It's you know, I'm all for I'm all for Twitter being a place where people time and a place.
What'd you say, Trey?
Time and a place.
For
There
what?
is for let's for people to talk about videogams.
Yes. Yeah, nobody
needs to know Colonel Sanders' opinion. about
That's
whether
the
or
thing
not
that always
Popeye-
fucking kills me, right? With these brand accounts. I don't
Yeah.
care what the Wendy's mascot thinks about Halo. Like, it's just not... Those aren't overlapping areas.
Like, the Colonel's not going to be part of my trio. He's not going to pick Pathfinder before me, and I'm not going to get pissed off at him because now I have to play Bloodhound.
He's not going to already be Tracer.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, when
Oh dear.
when KFC launches their own streaming platform, then they can have opinions on video games.
Oh, jeez, I can already hear them partnering up with Google to promote Stadia.
Yeah, hey, how do you guys feel about Google Stadia?
It's a
I
thing.
don't know much about it.
It's Google's gaming store that is allegedly going to exist at some point.
It's going to be Steam and Twitch together again for the very first time.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, it's cool that Steam doesn't have a monopoly anymore, but when the competition comes from other massive conglomerates, I don't know that it's actually any better.
Well, I mean, it is better than them having a monopoly, but it's not.
Yeah,
Great.
only like marginally so. Yeah.
In all of this, the most valid one, I think, are Discord, on account of the fact that once they saw that Epic and Steam were having their row, they were like, yeah, we're just gonna not do that anymore with the whole like store thing. They still give free games away with Nitro as like a subscription thing, but they don't sell actual like games on their platform anymore, like to buy individual.
Yeah,
I forgot that they ever did that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I only was aware of the whole games being distributed through Discord thing because it was mentioned in passing with a certain degree of confusion by Jim Sterling when he was talking about the Epic Game Store and its both advantages and deep problems.
It left about as quickly as it, where like the reason that they pulled out was because Epic were like, hey, we're gonna be the big competitor now.
Is the Epic Store even doing well? Because like,
well, it is actually doing very well. You know what they have as an advantage over Steam?
What?
They pay a lot better.
Well, that's an advantage for the developers. I don't know how many consumers
for the
care
developers,
about that.
it's an advantage that they pay a lot better. They're also doing well for a couple of reasons. Well, I mean, one thing, they have a certain number of exclusive titles, which
the
in
new
some cases,
the
that
new
is a double-edged
Supergiant
sword.
one is Epic exclusive, right?
Yeah,
What?
Hades, I think it's called.
The new game by the people that developed Bastion and Transistor.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's one. There are a couple of others which are exclusive. But I mean, like, there's a certain element of it becoming a double-edged sword insofar as that there are people who, got Kickstarter backing who wound up deciding, oh, we're going to make this an Epic Store exclusive when they essentially had promised to put it on Steam as well. And that's bad.
Yeah. Not great optics.
Yeah, it isn't. But by the same token, I can understand wanting to go with a platform that, actually,
Pays
doesn't
decently.
take like that pays decently, that doesn't take a cut out of your, like, revenues.
Hey, this is weird.
And
We're
just-
actually talking about gaming on my gaming live stream.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome to the world of PC gaming, where your biggest choices are either a company that forgot how to make video games and just spends their time making expensive VR headsets, or the company that created a culture where school children criticize each other for not having the latest in a video.
Ugh. Yeah,
Epic
like,
freaked out a bunch of devs recently when they applied a flat 10% discount, $10 discount to certain games on the platform. Supergiant actually bumped the price of Hades up, presumably in retaliation. That's not a great sign.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that kind of thing without telling your people that release stuff on your store that you're going to.
Although, yeah, like,
they're in the midst of building out their first, really big, sale thing, akin to sales,
Yeah.
But the way that it was handled was botched, like honestly, right from the beginning, because it got leaked through, of all things, Fortnite up.
Wait, what about Fortnite? You got cut off of it.
There was an update to the game that had like a blurb that's like, oh, by the way, if you verify your account with like two-factor authentication, you get a $10 credit for the sale that we're putting on.
Oh
and
my!
That sale wasn't going on yet. So.
Oh dear.
Gaming!
Yeah.
Hey, while we're at it, why don't I rant about the new fucking thing in Hearthstone? Because this episode did not have enough negativity in it, clearly.
I mean, I could get into the other deeply fucked up things about Fortnite. But I won't.
No, I mean none of us play Fortnite. I actually play Hearthstone.
It would be unfair. It would be, it's like just the whole.
I own their fake Splinter Cell Sam Fisher type skin, and I'm ashamed of myself for it.
Oh dear.
Trey, no. It's fine. I don't actually care. But like.
But
Shapes and forms Fortnite pivot. No. Look.
No.
Look.
No.
I have pretty low standards for what I will play on this series. The day we play fucking Fortnite is the day that Shapes and Forms is canceled forever. Like.
And by canceled, we mean in, like, every sense of that word.
Morally, like, literally off the air. Yeah, many ways.
Like that.
Jane,
like,
Jane, I
we'll
need you to see what I put in chat.
Stream
I
sniped by
can't,
Ninja fans.
I need to reload
Fucking...
this. Like, just give me a sec.
Stream sniped by Ninja fans.
Oh god. Can you imagine the day? Oh Lord. I think that all of us have
And we
too
don't
high standards.
play games unless we're talking Fortnite.
The only battle royale I enjoy is Apex, and even that I have to be in a very particular mood to even muster myself to boot it up.
Where?
Stream sniped by Ninja fan.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh my god.
No, but I wanted to complain because after several expansions of releasing free, like, solo adventures in Hearthstone, they are now charging for them again for some reason. And it is mildly annoying.
Consistency was never Blizzard's strong suit.
No. Also, like, the game in general continues to kind of degrade, but, you know, nobody wants to hear me talk about the Hearthstone meta, I don't think. I will say that yesterday I had a deck consisting solely of the card Whizbang the Wonderful, and what that does is it gives you one of, I think, a dozen random pre-made decks that you then play with. So it's not really intended for, like, competitive anything. And I won 9 games in a row.
Holy shit.
In ranked. And I'm not very good at Hearthstone. So, like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
So basically the words please nerf should be...
Well, like, I don't even know what you would do about that, because the card, like, the gimmick is that it gives you several entire pre-made decks.
It's the Valdo strategy.
Yeah.
So Soul Calibur has that one guy that's, like, in the bondage gear that turns himself around and fights with, like, claw thingies on his hand.
Mummy Wolverine.
nobody knows what the hell he's doing, which is why people that are able to fight with him effectively are scary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of is the
I
same
aspire
thing, isn't
to
it?
that.
Like, I need a visual on that, like an actual.
Oh, just Google
What's the
Voldo, Voldo, comma, Soul Calibur.
You probably don't even need to put the Soul Calibur part. He'll show up.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
He'll be there in your dreams.
Yes, there's no forgetting this man once you see him.
I am waiting for Sredni to call him a husband.
It's what we in the industry call a zaddy.
So, Sredni, have you found him yet?
I'm waiting for this.
Okay.
This is a man with an.
Sorry, can you say again, Sredni?
This is a man with an aesthetic.
Oh, hell yes.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
Not really my type, but I see the appeal.
Not really my type, but I see the appeal.
At least in theory.
Yeah.
Look, guys. Even I have my limits.
Sredni's limit apparently is
like
a weird hunched mummy man with blades on his hands.
And humps the air as a victory pose.
I forgot about that, but you're right, he does do that.
I mean, the issue is more just like the purple stripes. Just, you know.
Sredni, I'm gonna
that's
fucking
a wardrobe
fight you.
decision. That's a wardrobe decision I can't entirely get behind.
Okay, but the Oni mask. What about that?
The what?
Is the Oni mask valid? He's got at least one outfit where he's gotten on.
Ah.
Well, I mean, Oni masks are always valid. Oni are good.
What
And
about
the
what about the weird samurai guy that hops around on his sword?
This is not Yoshimitsu.
Yeah, Yoshimitsu.
Yoshimitsu is an icon.
He's
Okay, I need to look this up.
a guy. Just like look up every Soul Calibur character, really. Actually, while you do that, I know we're only like 20 minutes from the end of the show, but I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. Now is as good a time as any to remind people that if they would like to support the show, they can do so by becoming a patron. The Patreon page is below the viewing window, regardless of whether you are on Twitch or YouTube. There are links down there. I will be right back. Ooh.
Now Yoshi is not bad.
He's interesting because he has two completely different series, although they're related. He's part of Tekken and Soul Calibur's roster, and actually has a pretty similar moveset with you. He's one of the few Tekken characters that has a weapon, and in Soul Calibur, there.
Yeah.
He also has a move where he's able to perform the ability to strike himself and his opponent by putting his sword through the chest.
Oh, what? Oh, wait, what? Repeat that.
He's able to perform harakiri on himself and his enemy.
Oh.
It's hardcore.
Yeah.
He's a good character.
Yes.
Also, one of his, I can't remember if it's Tekken 6 or 7, but
What's
just
up?
is
I've
an
returned.
octopus and not what. We're talking about Yoshi being able to perform harakiri.
Why?
Because he can. That's a thing he does.
You can.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
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 Like-
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be different.
Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be different.
Don't be afraid to be different.
And forms.
Logic's
And
biracial.
shapes.
Yeah.
And forms. And
But only there.
shape.
Only there.
Which Soul Calibur character design is the horniest? We don't have enough time left in the show to break that down.
That is such an important question and such a better image than Logic's piebald horse cock.
Stop that! Don't say these things. Don't be afraid to be different. Hey, can we talk about the fact we didn't bring up the fact that Homicide has an entire YouTube video at the end of it?
Yeah, I do not know what the fuck was going on with that.
That's a YouTube video of some comedian making fun of how Eminem raps. And they just stuck the whole thing at the end there. I think that's the whole thing, anyway.
Huh.
It's just in... I just don't know why it's there.
That's the kind of that's a move akin to Drake, including the sequence from Atlanta where one of the characters just really wants to meet Drake at I believe the interlude for Nice for What. It was either that one or like one of the other singles from Scorpion. I don't know. Does anybody remember Scorpion?
I remember Nice for What. The entire rest of the album is pretty forgettable, though.
Yeah.
I think God's Plan was on that too, but God's Plan was also...
Plan was from the EP before it.
Yeah, and then it was included on the album too.
Yeah, the thing to remember about Scorpion is that it's like an hour and a half long for some reason.
Yeah.
And had an MJ collab 10 years after MJ.
Yeah, that's pretty grody.
Yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, I mean, Nice for What had Big Frida on it.
That's true. Big Frida is on the intro.
Yeah, she's yeah. She shows up throughout, actually.
Well, yeah, to do like the interlude stuff.
Yeah.
I actually quite like that song. It's
same.
easily the most engaging thing Drake has made, at least as far as his own music, in like years.
Yeah, actually.
And it kind of bombed as far as like being a lead single goes, I think. So.
No, it actually made it to number 1 on the Billboard charts for a while.
Did it? I thought that was the other one, and like that and like Nice for What did bad.
I mean, God's Plan did numbers too, but only because
was at number 1 for weeks and weeks. But
for
Nice
some
for
reason.
What was there for
Drake would have to do something drastic in order for him not to make it to number 1 somehow.
You know what I think people are gonna remember about the 2010s? At least one thing. musically. It's like, oh yeah, that's the decade when Drake was really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did have a career in the 2000s too, but he was not nearly as big as he is now.
Yeah, like, holy shit. Like, in the past decade, he's been titanic.
He's also managed somehow to put out a project of some sort, like, almost every year since, like, at least 2015.
Yeah!
Which, you know, is A, insane, and B, one could, like, almost say that it doesn't even count in at least one case, because More Life is one of those albums. And More Life, mind you, is basically a cover album.
Now...
How so?
Now, Trey, More Life is a playlist. Don't be silly.
What is like more like
the stupidest
More
fucking
Life.
Branding thing of all time.
Like, most of what I know about More Life is that every single that, or not single, but like track that charted even briefly, that I heard even a little bit of, was just like, some of it was like almost interesting for being like so weirdly dinky and like kind of like that it almost verged on outsider music. Like, it was just, but that a lot of it was just really boring.
Well,
I mean,
what contributed to it sounding different compared to most of his other albums is the fact that it came out immediately after Work, which was his collab with Rihanna. And while it was never confirmed that they were dating, you can finish the rest of that sentence. That was when he felt like he wanted to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I unlocked a new outfit in DeadCells. That's cool.
Ooh.
That's good.
I don't think this game had outfits until the most recent update. So that's neat. But, yeah, that's kind of gonna be our stream. We've got a couple minutes left. You guys want to just, like, fill air for a few minutes?
I mean, I fill air all the time. I am a human being that occupies space.
Sredni?
Yes.
I am going to eat you.
Don't!
Munch!
Like, I need a body. And also, I probably don't taste very good.
That's a fair point. I've never heard of anybody eating ferret. Anyway, yeah, that was our show for the week. And if you liked the show, you can do various things to support us. You can become a patron on Patreon. You can subscribe to my channel, which I try to put money from that back into getting more games for the stream. You can, like, show other people the stream, because getting new viewers is always the hardest thing for a live stream show. We had a few new people. We had a few new people today who came in from the Hip Hop Head subreddit. Maybe they will be back in the future.
Even if we, make, like, it's important that we also... Trey. If we're going to build a strong brand identity, quote unquote, I think we should have it organized around something that we can all agree on.
Like what? Like what, Sredni? Like what? Like what?
What the hell is happening?
I don't know. You gonna share your joke with the rest of the class?
That we're all like scarecrows, outstanding.
Fuck you!
Oh no.
Fuck off.
We're
I think
not
that's
afraid to be different. We're not afraid to
I
be
think
different.
that's it.
I'm
Not
ending the
Bye, y'all.
stream now. Goodbye.
We're
Bye, y'all.
not afraid to be different.